Hi everyone, it's Arlene from Arlene's Creations, and today I'm going to show you what I had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and my snack on the Weight Watchers Freestyle program. So for my breakfast, I had 2 of the Kodiak Power Flapjacks. You can have 3 for 5 smart points, but I only had 2 for 4 smart points. Then I had my 2 chicken sausages for 1 smart point, 2 fried eggs, 0 points, and I did have the Carrie's sugar-free syrup. A 1/4 of a cup is 1 smart point. So 4 smart points for my 2 pancakes, 1 smart point for my chicken sausage, 1 smart point for my syrup. So my whole entire breakfast was 6 smart points. Okay, so for my lunch today, I'll be making my delicious egg salad. I absolutely love it. And what I had, I already started blending some up so the video wouldn't be that long. But what I did was I took 5 jumbo hard-boiled eggs. I cut them in half. I took, let me put this here. I took 2 eggs of the egg yolks out and just processed in my little mini chopper here the whites. And from the 5th egg, I'm just going to do half of the yolk. So in here is 4 eggs, 4 hard-boiled eggs chopped up with only 2 of the yolks. So these are the other yolks from the other 2 eggs. This one was actually a double yolk. And so I took them out. I'll be discarding those, but I'm just chopping it in my chopper. Like so. Now, if you have a hand grater, you can grate your eggs on a hand grater. I prefer to use my chopper because it gets it super smooth and beautifully chopped. So this is 5 eggs put through the the little mini chopper, food processor, whatever you want to call it. Now, and 1/2 cup of celery chopped up in the chopper as well. I did pat that down with paper towels to get some of the water out. I don't want my egg salad to be watery, so I'm just going to discard these. Now to this, I'm going to be adding 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. I actually like a lot of onion powder, so I'm going to do 1. No, so that was, if this is 1/4 of a teaspoon, I did 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and then 3/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder. Now for my Hellmann's Light Mayo. Let me just shake this up. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons to start. I don't like mine with a lot of mayo. I like it kind of dry. But by all means, if you want to put more in yours, you can go ahead. Now I'm just going to mix this all up. I'll probably end up adding 1 more tablespoon. The onion powder is really what makes this this egg salad taste so delicious, and you have to eat it cold. I mean, I've had these eggs in the refrigerator since yesterday when I hard-boiled them. So this is a nice cold mixture. But if you would just to make your hard-boiled eggs, you want to put them in the refrigerator and let them get cold first before you make this. You don't want to make egg salad with warm eggs. So that's going to be plenty of the mayo. And I'll put on the screen the total smart points of how I'm going to be eating this for lunch. With what bread, and probably eat lettuce on it. So now that that's totally mixed, there's a little piece of yolk there. I'm just going to give it a quick taste to make sure it has enough salt and pepper and onion powder. I definitely taste the onion powder. I think it needs a little touch more salt. So that was only 1/4 teaspoon I put in before. So I'm going to be putting in another 1/4 teaspoon. That should be fine. If you like more salt, you like more pepper, by all means put more in. But I'm telling you, the onion powder and the celery are what really makes this egg salad delicious. And you don't need a ton of mayo to make it taste good. Delicious. So I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator so that all of the flavors can marry together and get nice and cold, and then I'll show you my lunch. Okay folks, so here is my absolutely delicious lunch. I used the delightful Sara Lee 45 calorie healthy multigrain bread. So 2 slices is 2 points. Now the egg salad that I made, you had seen that I only put in 2 tablespoons of the light mayo, which that's 2 points. But I'll be getting 3 sandwiches out of this. So 2 sandwiches I have to count for 1 point each. And then the other one is basically free, I guess, because this whole entire thing of egg salad, the eggs are 0 smart points. The celery is 0 smart points. The onion powder, salt, and pepper is 0 smart points. And the mayonnaise, the light Hellmann's, is 2 points. So this whole entire thing is only 2 points. So I will count that as 1 point for my egg salad, 2 points for my bread. I have some cleaned, rinsed off grapes here, seedless grapes. And I have, it's not even a cup, it's just this little tiny, but it doesn't even measure a cup. It's about 1/2 cup with my chicken meatball soup, which, if you could see, I took 1 meatball and cut it in half and just have some vegetables, just as another little filler, which that is 0 points. So this whole big, beautiful lunch is only 3 smart points. Okay, so for dinner tonight, I am going to be making myself some eggplant parmesan. I'm going to make it like, not layered in a big tray, but just individual pieces with the mixture on top and then with the melted mozzarella cheese. So I'm just going to make quite a few, and I'll have it for dinner tonight and probably for lunch tomorrow. And then I'll see how I can freeze the rest. But what you're going to need is 1 eggplant sliced up, and I just sliced it into little rounds like this. I have these flavored breadcrumbs, 1/2 cup. That's all I'm going to use. It's 1/4 cup is 4 smart points. So between all of these eggplants, it's going to be 8 smart points just for the breadcrumbs. Then to dip your eggplant in, you're going to need your egg. I have some Parmesan cheese here that's going to go into the ricotta mixture. Parmesan cheese is 1 tablespoon for 1 Smart Point. This low-fat ricotta cheese is 1/4 cup for 2 Smart Points. And the Trader Joe's shredded mozzarella is 1 ounce for 1 Smart Point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to plug in my grill. I am going to put it on about 350. I'm going to spray it down with some of the olive oil spray. It's onion skin. And I am just going to start by taking my, where's my fork? Hold on a second. I just had my fork, where'd I put it? Oh, it's over here. And lightly, just very lightly, you don't want to put too much because you want to make sure that all these breadcrumbs work for all of those. And I'm just going to place them on my grill. It still needs to get a little bit hotter, but I'm going to continue to egg and bread all of these pieces, and I'll show you how they turn out. Okay, so I was able to bread both sides of 13 pieces of eggplant with only a little bit of breadcrumbs left. So when I make the filling and then put everything together, I'm going to divide it by 13, and that'll tell me how many points about that each one is. So I just wanted to show you that 1/2 cup breaded both sides of these. So I'm just going to let these cook. It's on 350. And because there's really no oil, just that little bit of spray, it'll probably take a little while, but I'm just going to let them cook and do their thing. Okay, so for my filling, I have the low-fat ricotta cheese, which I put 4 1/4 cups. I wanted to see how much it would be because 1/4 cup is 2 Smart Points. So this is 8 Smart Points. So it actually ended up being 1 cup. Now the Parmesan cheese is 1 point for 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to times this probably by 3. 1, 2. 3. So let me just write that down. Times 3. And then the mozzarella is 1 ounce for 1 Smart Point. So I'm going to be putting in let me tare it first to 0. And I'm just going to put in probably about 3 ounces. That's 1 1/4 so far. It's still a little frozen. I just took it out. You know what? In the mix, I'm only going to put 2 ounces. And then I'll put some aside to drizzle on the top when I bake them in the oven. Alright, so that's 2 ounces. So mozzarella, 1 ounce is 1 Smart Point times 2. Okay. So now to this mixture, I am just going to put some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and some fresh chopped parsley. So let me get that together and I'll be back. Okay, so let's get back to making this delicious individual little eggplant Parmesan rollantini things. Alright, so in this measuring cup I have 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of dried basil leaves, and a half a teaspoon of dried oregano. So I'm just going to add that all to the mix. I also have 1 egg beaten in here. And now this is 1/3 cup. But there's a little, you can see it's not all the way filled up. So that's about 1/4 cup of fresh chopped parsley. So now I'm just going to mix this up. And that egg is what's going to help incorporate it all. So I'm just going to continue to mix this till it's wonderfully mixed. And then over here, I have my eggplants are still cooking. You could see no oil, just that little bit of that spray. So I just want them to get a little bit crispier. I'll leave them on for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to assemble them on my baking sheet and show you how I'm going to bake them. Okay, so as you can see, what I'm doing here is I have my mixture. I have my 0 point crock pot sauce that I have a little bit left of. When I make more, I'll show you a video on that. But on each piece of eggplant, I'm just putting some sauce. My sauce is 0 points. There's no sugar or anything in it. So I'm just putting some on each one. Now I have a 1 ounce scoop. And I'm just going to take my mixture here and move that to the back. And I'm going to put 1 scoop on each piece. Now, with all this mixture, all the breadcrumbs, and everything included, comes to 21 points. But I have 13 pieces of eggplant here. So what I did was I took 21 points, divided it by 13, and that brings you to 1.61 smart points for each one. So, because you can't calculate that, what I would do is eat 2 or 4 of them and calculate 3 points for every 2. So that would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21. You know, a little bit. So that's actually giving yourself a little bit of leeway. But it looks like this is going to be absolutely perfect amount for 13 pieces of eggplant. So that worked out absolutely perfect. Now, next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my fork and I'm just going to press down that mixture just a tiny bit. And I'm going to pop these in the oven. I have my oven preheating already to 350. And I don't even, because I did add, you know, the shredded mozzarella inside of this mixture, I don't even think it needs more cheese on the top. That's only going to add more points. So I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to pop them in the oven. And I'm going to cook them probably for about 20 minutes or so. I'll keep checking them and I'll let you know how long I cook them for. And yeah, so 13, all of these here come out to 21 points. So like I said, you could divide it into individual meals and then just, you know, have it, quarter it, whatever. But the way the points broke down for this it was 3 points for the Parmesan cheese, 8 points for the ricotta cheese, 8 points for the breadcrumbs, and 2 points for the mozzarella, and 0 points for the sauce. So again, it comes to 21 points. There's 13 pieces. So divided by 13, it comes out to 1.61 smart point for each one. So that's what I'm saying. Figure 1.5, even though it's a little bit more than 1.5. So if you eat 2 of them, it's like 3.5 points for 2 of them. So that's how it breaks down. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven, and I'll show you how they look when they come out and what my dinner is going to be for tonight along with this. Okay, so this is how my eggplant looks plated up. I've decided to have 3 pieces, and then I have 2 chicken meatballs, which is 0 points, my 0 point sauce. I did end up putting a little bit more of the Trader Joe's mozzarella cheese on top, which it didn't even amount to like a ½ ounce, where it's 1 ounce for 1 point. But because of the extra eggplant, because if 2 of them are about 3 points each, like 1.61 points each, I'm just going to count this whole entire meal as 4 points. So 2 chicken meatballs, 3 pieces of my eggplant. I am plating up some for dinners that I can freeze. So I have, and I'm making my sister-in-law one. And I have these extra to plate up as well, to freeze them. So that's my delicious eggplant. I'm going to enjoy this dinner. I've been looking forward to an Italian dinner for a while, and I absolutely love chicken parm, eggplant parm, penne alla vodka, like anything Italian I absolutely love. So I am looking forward to this eggplant. Alright, the last thing I'm going to show you in this video is my snack for tonight, and stay tuned for that. Okay, and now for my final video here. This is what I made for my snack. I made a whole container of it. It's actually 1 can of chickpeas. 0 points for 3/4 cup. I put in just 1.5 pieces of these artichokes. 0 points. They're packed in water, not oil. And I put in 1 clove of garlic, a big clove, and some fresh spinach. And what I did was I put it through my food processor until I had this. So it's an artichoke spinach hummus. And I'm going to be eating that with 17 of these toasted pita chips from Ritz. It's 17 chips for 4 points. So I only have 1/3 cup of the hummus here. So the hummus is 0 points and the pita chips are 4 points. And that's my snack for tonight. Again, thank you for watching.